Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to travel way back in time. I'm not talking about your grandparents' generation or even ancient Rome. We're going further back than that, to a time when humanity was just starting to get its footing. Let's talk about the dawn of the Stone Age. So, what exactly is the Stone Age? It's a huge chunk of our history, starting around 3.3 million years ago and lasting until about 3,300 BCE. That's a massive period. It's called the Stone Age because, you guessed it, stone was the primary material our ancestors used to make tools. Think of it as the original tech boom. Before bronze, before iron, there was stone. Now, this era is so long that scientists have broken it down into three main parts: the Paleolithic, the Mesolithic, and the Neolithic. Each one represents a major leap forward for humankind. Let's start with the Paleolithic, or the Old Stone Age. This is the longest part, stretching from the very beginning until about 10,000 BCE. Our earliest relatives, like Australopithecus, were the first to figure out that you could bang two rocks together to make a sharp edge. These weren't fancy axes. They were simple, crude choppers and flakes. But they were revolutionary. For the first time, our ancestors could butcher animals, crack open bones for marrow, and process plants more efficiently. This was a game changer for survival. During the Paleolithic, people were hunter-gatherers. They lived in small nomadic groups, constantly moving to follow animal herds and find seasonal plants. Life was tough. They didn't have permanent homes. They lived in caves or built simple temporary shelters out of branches and animal hides. And it was during this time that humans mastered one of the most important tools of all: fire. Controlling fire meant warmth, protection from predators, and the ability to cook food, which made it easier to digest and unlock more nutrients. This literally helped our brains grow bigger. And let's not forget about art. Towards the end of the Paleolithic, we see the first signs of human creativity. People started painting incredible scenes of animals and hunts on cave walls, like the famous ones in Lascaux, France. They carved small statues, the so-called Venus figurines. This wasn't just doodling. It was the beginning of culture, of symbolism, and maybe even of religion. It shows us they were thinking about more than just their next meal. Next up is the Mesolithic, or the Middle Stone Age. This was a transitional period, roughly from 10,000 to 8,000 BCE. The great ice sheets from the last ice age were retreating, and the climate was changing dramatically. Large game animals like mammoths started to disappear. Humans had to adapt, and fast. So they got smarter with their stone tools. They developed what we call microliths, tiny, sharp stone blades that could be fitted into bone or wood handles to create more complex tools like spears, arrows, and sickles. This made hunting smaller, faster animals possible and allowed them to harvest wild grains more effectively. They also developed things like canoes and fishing nets, opening up rivers and coasts as a whole new source of food. People were still nomadic, but they started to settle in certain areas for longer periods. Finally, we arrive at the Neolithic, or the New Stone Age. This is where everything changes, and it's often called the Agricultural Revolution. Around 8,000 BCE, in a region called the Fertile Crescent in the Middle East, people made a monumental discovery. They could plant seeds and grow their own food. This single idea turned the world upside down. Farming meant people no longer had to wander around searching for food. They could stay in one place, build permanent villages, and eventually, cities. They domesticated animals like sheep, goats, and cattle for milk, meat, and labor. This created a stable food supply, which allowed populations to grow like never before. With more people and more free time, because not everyone had to be a farmer, new jobs emerged. We see the first potters, weavers, and priests. The tools got a major upgrade too. Instead of just chipping stones, Neolithic people learned to grind and polish them, creating incredibly sharp and durable axes, adzes, and hoes. These polished stone tools were essential for clearing forests for farmland and building more permanent structures. Society became more complex, with social hierarchies and organized religion starting to take shape. This period laid the groundwork for the first civilizations. So, from the first chipped pebble to the rise of agriculture and the first villages, the Stone Age was an epic journey. It was a time of incredible innovation and adaptation that shaped who we are today. It's the story of our species going from simply surviving to thriving and starting to build the world we now live in. It's the ultimate human origin story. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you found this journey back in time as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into history. Let me know in the comments which part of the Stone Age you find most interesting. See you in the next video.